Welcome to the journey of transitioning to ISO 14001 to 2026. This course empowers organizations toward environmental excellence, making CDG training your trusted partner in ISO training and certification. Our course is designed to guide your organization through the critical transition from ISO 14001 to 2015 to the updated ISO 14001 to 2026 standard. We equip you with the knowledge, tools, and confidence to lead with environmental excellence. CDG Training is a global leader in ISO and management system training. We combine best practices with practical guidance to help organizations build real competence and lasting compliance, ensuring you achieve environmental excellence. The environmental landscape has changed significantly since 2015. Climate change, biodiversity loss, and resource scarcity are urgent operational realities. ISO 14001 to 2026 addresses these challenges, helping organizations stay compliant and competitive. This course offers a structured learning experience, from understanding the changes to implementing them. You'll learn key differences, clause-by-clause changes, transition roadmaps, effective implementation, and receive CDG support throughout your journey. Our structured path takes you from understanding the standard to achieving certification readiness. You'll compare requirements, plan transitions, implement EMS, and become certification ready, ensuring clarity and confidence at every step. This course is ideal for professionals responsible for environmental management, compliance, or sustainability. Whether you're an EMS manager, auditor, or consultant, you'll gain the expertise needed to lead your organization with updated standards. Designed for anyone responsible for environmental compliance, this course is suitable for all industries and organization sizes. It offers practical focus and supports both individual development and team training, with no prior knowledge required. CDG training goes beyond teaching standards. We partner with you to embed meaningful excellence into your organization's DNA. Our training is globally recognized, offering end-to-end support and practical, actionable value. The transition to ISO 14001 to 2026 is an opportunity, not just a requirement. With CDG training, you have a trusted partner to guide you every step of the way, from understanding and planning to implementing and excelling in certification. Dive into the world's most widely adopted environmental management system standard, ISO 14001. Explore its structure, purpose, evolution, and the real value it delivers to organizations of every size. ISO 14001 is a global standard for environmental management systems, providing a framework for action, universal applicability, and strategic necessity for organizations worldwide. From its inception in 1996 to the upcoming 2026 amendments, ISO 14001 has evolved to meet the demands of a changing world, integrating climate change considerations and harmonizing with other standards. ISO 14001 aims to protect the environment, prevent pollution, ensure compliance, and drive continual improvement and sustainable development within organizations. The Plan Do Check Act cycle is central to ISO 14001, providing a systematic framework for continual improvement of environmental management systems. The 2026 structure of ISO 14001 follows the harmonized structure, focusing on foundation clauses, implementation, planning, support, operation, performance evaluation, and improvement. ISO 14001 certification offers benefits like legal compliance, risk reduction, cost savings, stakeholder trust, enhanced brand reputation, and new business opportunities. Many myths surround ISO 14001, such as it being only for big companies or manufacturing. In reality, it applies to all sectors and offers long-term benefits beyond paperwork. CDG training emphasizes understanding the principles behind ISO 14001 to 2015 to ensure a seamless transition to the 2026 revision, focusing on the why behind the what for genuine compliance and strategic goals driving the 2026 revision of the world's leading environmental management standard. Environmental challenges have evolved dramatically since ISO 14001 was last updated in 2015. The world has changed, and the standard must keep pace. Climate change has moved from a future concern to a present-day business risk, affecting operations, supply chains, and financial performance. Biodiversity loss, water scarcity, and pollution now directly impact operations across industries and geographies. ESG and sustainability disclosures are mandatory in many jurisdictions, raising the bar for standards. The standard must reflect the complexity and urgency of today's environmental landscape, not the world of a decade ago. 5 converging forces have made the revision of ISO 14001 both timely and necessary. The Paris Agreement and the UN Sustainable Development Goals have redefined what responsible environmental management looks like at a global scale. ISO's landmark commitment to embed climate change considerations into all standards created a clear mandate for updating ISO 14001. Rising demands from investors, regulators, customers, and communities for greater transparency and credible environmental reporting. New capabilities in environmental monitoring, data analytics, and digital reporting tools have accelerated the standard's evolution. A decade of real-world implementation of ISO 14001 to 2015 has revealed areas where clarity, consistency, and stronger guidance are needed. The ISO London Declaration represents a binding commitment that reshapes how every ISO standard, including ISO 14001, is developed and revised. Signed by ISO and IAF in 2021, it aligns global standards to embed climate action into the fabric of international standardization. Climate change considerations in all standards mandate that climate change is integrated into all new and revised ISO standards. The Paris Agreement and global net zero ambitions, along with the SDGs, align with these goals. ISO 14001 to 2026 fully embodies this, making climate action central, not peripheral. The 2026 revision has a clear and ambitious agenda, strengthening the standard's relevance, usability, and environmental impact. Clarifying existing requirements so organizations can interpret and implement them more consistently and confidently. Harmonizing the standard with the latest Annex SL, making integration with other ISO standards seamless. Addressing climate change, biodiversity loss, and resource efficiency as core environmental considerations. Introducing structured change management through the new Clause 6.3, enabling organizations to manage environmental impacts of planned changes. Enabling easier integration with ISO 9001, 45001, 50001, and 27001 for organizations running integrated management systems. The 2026 revision is deliberately measured in scope. Organizations that have built strong systems under ISO 14001 to 2015 will find the transition well within reach. The revision is intentionally moderate, designed to strengthen and clarify, not to overhaul or redefine the current system. It focuses on refining existing requirements, reducing ambiguity without adding significant new burdens. Clause 6.3, Planning of Changes is the single truly new addition, providing structured guidance for managing planned changes to the EMS. Organizations with strong 2015 systems will find the transition manageable. The focus is on refinement, not reinvention. Beyond the technical clauses, the 2026 revision signals a fundamental shift in how organizations are expected to think about and practice environmental management. Proactive environmental leadership replaces reactive compliance. Life cycle and supply chain thinking extend beyond the site boundary, from suppliers to end of life. Dynamic, adaptive systems are expected to change in response to emerging challenges and opportunities. Strategic sustainability is integrated into decision-making processes, ensuring that environmental considerations are part of the core business strategy. At CDG Training, we believe the 2026 revision is not a burden, it is an opportunity. An opportunity to future-proof your EMS, strengthen your environmental leadership, and lead with confidence in a rapidly changing world. The 2026 revision positions your environmental management system at the heart of the next decade of regulatory, stakeholder, and market demands. CDG Training helps you understand every new and revised requirement, translating complexity into clear, actionable steps for your team. We simplify complexity and translate requirements into practical action, so your organization can implement with confidence and ease. Ready to get started? CDG Training's ISO 14001 to 2026 transition programs are designed to take you from awareness to full implementation, efficiently and effectively. Welcome to Chapter 4, ISO 14001 to 2026. In this section, we'll explore the timeline and transition deadlines, providing a comprehensive guide to the revision schedule, transition period, and essential actions your organization must take before May 2029. Let's delve into the revision timeline in detail. Starting in autumn 2023, the drafting of the revised standard began. By summer 2025, the draft international standard will be released, followed by the official publication in April 2026. The final draft is expected in January 2026, with certification bodies ready by 2027. All organizations must transition by May 2029. Understanding the transition period is crucial. The IAF has proposed a 3-year transition period, starting from April 2026, to allow organizations ample time for planning and adaptation. This period ensures smoother transitions and stronger ESG positioning, similar to past standards. What does the transition deadline mean for you? After May 2029, all ISO 14001 to 2015 certificates will expire, requiring a transition audit. The 2015 certificates will no longer be valid, and audits may be combined to minimize disruption. Delayed action could lead to loss of certification status. Adopting a phased transition approach is recommended. Phase 1 focuses on awareness and training by 2026. Phase 2 involves documentation updates by 2027. Phase 3 includes internal audits by 2028, and Phase 4 ensures a smooth transition with your certification body by early 2029. Avoid the rush near the deadline. Why does early transition matter? It ensures better auditor availability, enhances ESG and sustainability credibility, aligns with ISO 9001 to 2026, and provides more training time. Early adopters gain a competitive edge and avoid last-minute rushes. Delaying the transition poses significant risks, including lost business opportunities, reputational damage, poor implementation, and higher costs. The cost of delay exceeds the benefits of early, structured transition planning. Start your transition journey in 2026 with CDG Training. Their structured roadmap and expert guidance help organizations avoid last-minute pressure and ensure a well-planned transition, fostering lasting environmental excellence. Dive into the foundational requirements of ISO 14001, focusing on understanding your organization, its context, and the boundaries of your environmental management system. Clause 4 is the framework for the environmental management system, structured across 4 interconnected subclauses. Clause 4 anchors the EMS, ensuring it aligns with organizational reality and long-term direction, setting the foundation for all other clauses. Organizations must identify internal and external issues affecting EMS objectives, with new mandatory environmental considerations introduced in 2026. External environmental issues like climate change and resource scarcity can significantly impact EMS performance and compliance. Internal issues reflect the organization's capacity and commitment to environmental performance, shaping EMS implementation. Identify stakeholders and assess their needs to ensure compliance and integrate expectations into the EMS framework. A comprehensive stakeholder map ensures no source of compliance obligation or environmental expectation is overlooked. Defining the EMS scope is crucial, determining what is covered by the management system and ensuring accountability. A good scope statement is precise, transparent, and reflects the full extent of the organization's environmental responsibilities. Clause 4.4 focuses on establishing, implementing, maintaining, and improving the EMS to drive performance across the organization. The 2026 revision of ISO 14001 introduces significant enhancements to Clause 4, emphasizing mandatory environmental conditions and lifecycle perspective. Understanding common audit findings under Clause 4 helps organizations focus on internal and external issues effectively. Applied targeted actions to ensure Clause 4 implementation is audit-ready and aligned with the 2026 requirements. System. This section emphasizes the importance of leadership, commitment, and accountability in driving environmental initiatives. Clause 5 lays the groundwork for leadership in an environmental management system, structured around three key sub-clauses: leadership and commitment, environmental policy, and roles, responsibilities, and authorities. Clause 5 is designed to ensure that leadership actively drives environmental management. It emphasizes accountability, strategic alignment, cultural shifts, and clear direction across all organizational levels. Top management must actively demonstrate leadership and commitment to the M's. This involves taking accountability, establishing policies, promoting continual improvement, and extending leadership support across all roles. Leadership must be visible and tangible. Active participation, resource allocation, clear communication, recognition, and role model behavior are key ways top management can engage with the M's. An environmental policy is a documented statement of the organization's environmental intentions and direction. It should include core commitments, set a framework for objectives, and be communicated to all stakeholders. A strong environmental policy is strategic, reflecting the organization's values. It includes a clear commitment statement, addresses relevant issues, considers climate change, and ensures compliance and improvement. Top management must clearly assign and communicate roles for the M's. This ensures accountability and prevents ambiguity, which is crucial for effective environmental management. A well-structured M's requires clearly defined roles. From top management to employees, each level has specific responsibilities to ensure effective environmental performance. The 2026 revision of ISO 14001 introduces key updates to Clause 5, including stronger leadership engagement, extended support, terminology updates, and explicit climate change considerations. Common nonconformities under Clause 5 include outdated policies, lack of top management evidence, poorly defined roles, and ineffective communication of policies. To prepare for Clause 5 requirements, organizations should review policies, conduct leadership workshops, create visual org charts, display policies prominently, and use training templates to strengthen M's culture. Explore a comprehensive guide to ISO 14001 M's planning, covering risks, opportunities, environmental objectives, and the new structured change management requirements. Clause 6 is structured around three core sub-clauses that define how an organization plans and manages its environmental management system. Clause 6 establishes the strategic planning foundation of the M's, ensuring proactive, structured, and outcome-driven environmental management. Clause 6.1 focuses on determining risks and opportunities, planning actions, integrating them into M's, and evaluating their effectiveness. Environmental aspects are elements of an organization's activities that interact with the environment. Proper identification is crucial for an effective M's. Understanding environmental aspects helps organizations build comprehensive and accurate aspect impact registers. Compliance obligations include all legal and voluntary requirements related to environmental aspects, which must be current and accessible. The 2026 revision emphasizes genuine risk-based thinking throughout the M's, making climate-related risks explicit. Environmental objectives must be relevant, measurable, and updated as conditions change, with clear roles and timelines. The SMART framework ensures environmental objectives are actionable and verifiable, driving real improvement. Well-crafted objectives demonstrate measurable improvement, illustrating how SMART principles translate into real-world targets. Clause 6.3 formalizes how organizations handle changes to their M's, requiring structured and documented change management. Unmanaged change is a root cause of failures. Clause 6.3 requires structured change management, aligning with ISO 9001. Significant changes in operations or context may trigger the need for a formal M's change review under Clause 6.3. A robust change management procedure should follow a clear, repeatable sequence to ensure no step is overlooked. Understanding frequent nonconformities helps organizations address gaps before an audit, preventing major issues. CDG training provides ready-to-use registers and procedures, ensuring full alignment with the latest ISO 14001 requirements. Dive into the foundational support requirements of the Environmental Management System Standard, focusing on resources, competence, awareness, communication, and documented information. Clause 7 is structured around 5 essential pillars that form the backbone of a functioning environmental management system: resources, competence, awareness, communication, and documented information. Clause 7 establishes the essential infrastructure for an environmental management system to function effectively, ensuring resources, competence, awareness, communication, and control over documented information are in place. Organizations must identify and provide all necessary resources for the EMS's establishment, implementation, and improvement. This includes human, financial, infrastructural, and technological resources, which should be reviewed periodically. A well-resourced EMS draws on diverse inputs, including trained personnel, financial support, infrastructure, monitoring tools, IT systems, and external expertise, ensuring comprehensive environmental management. Competence is crucial for EMS effectiveness. Organizations must systematically ensure all personnel are capable of performing their roles, through competence requirements, evaluation, and documented evidence. Building competence is an ongoing cycle. Organizations must identify role-based requirements, conduct training needs analysis, develop training programs, evaluate competence, and maintain training records. Awareness ensures everyone understands the environmental context of their work and its importance. This includes understanding policies, significant impacts, contributions, consequences of non-conformance, and benefits of improvement. Effective awareness programs use multiple channels, such as induction sessions, safety meetings, visual reminders, and internal communications, to reach all personnel and reinforce environmental messages. Effective communication is essential for EMS integrity. Organizations must establish processes for internal and external communication, defining what, when, and how to communicate, and responding to interested parties. Both internal and external communications must be handled consistently and accurately to maintain EMS credibility. This includes policy updates, performance, regulatory reporting, and customer interactions. Clause 7.5 governs the lifecycle of documented information within the EMS, ensuring documents are maintained, controlled, and protected from loss or misuse, reflecting a more flexible approach to documentation. A comprehensive EMS requires a wide range of documented information, including policies, procedures, training records, monitoring data, and audit findings, to ensure effective management and continual improvement. The 2026 revision of ISO 14001 introduces updates to documentation terminology, emphasizes sustainability, expands communication focus, and integrates digital tools, reflecting a modern approach to EMS management. Understanding common nonconformities found during audits helps organizations proactively address weaknesses, such as missing training records, outdated communication procedures, and weak frontline awareness. CDG training provides tools and expert guidance to strengthen Clause 7 implementation, offering resources like updated terminology reviews, training programs, digital tools, and communication matrices. Welcome to Chapter 9, focusing on Clause 8 of the ISO 14001-2015 Environmental Management System. This section is part of the CDG training series, guiding you through effective operational practices. Clause 8 is crucial as it outlines the operational requirements of an environmental management system. It includes two key sub-clauses: operational planning and control, and emergency preparedness and response. Clause 8 serves multiple purposes, from ensuring day-to-day control and aspect management to preparing for emergencies and extending environmental commitments throughout the supply chain. Organizations must establish, implement, and maintain controls to meet environmental management requirements. This involves planning, managing changes, applying lifecycle perspectives, and extending these practices to external providers. Operational controls are diverse, tailored to the environmental aspects being managed. They include SOPs, preventive maintenance, pollution control, waste protocols, and resource efficiency measures. ISO 14001 encourages organizations to consider environmental impacts across the entire life cycle of their products and services, from design and procurement to end of life, promoting sustainable practices. Organizations must shift towards including environmental criteria in their supply chain processes, ensuring accountability and monitoring indirect impacts like Scope 3 emissions. Being prepared for environmental emergencies is vital. Organizations should identify, plan, respond, test, and review their emergency procedures to minimize impacts on both the environment and the organization. Environmental emergencies can range from chemical spills and fires to natural disasters and power failures. Each requires specific responses to mitigate environmental impacts. A comprehensive emergency response plan includes identification, roles and responsibilities, communication, evacuation, containment, and post-incident review to ensure effective management of emergencies. The 2026 revision of ISO 14001 introduces clearer emergency boundaries, strengthened supply chain controls, a risk emergency linkage, and an enhanced life cycle perspective, improving organizational resilience. Audits often reveal issues like outdated SOPs, incomplete supplier evaluations, infrequent emergency drills, and disconnected risk planning. Addressing these strengthens your EMS and reduces audit risks. To implement Clause 8 effectively, update SOPs, build a supplier evaluation matrix, conduct annual emergency drills, and integrate emergency plans with risk registers. CDG Training offers templates to assist you. Welcome to Chapter 10. Clause 9 Performance Evaluation. This section is your comprehensive guide to monitoring, measurement, internal auditing, and management review under ISO 14001 environmental management systems. Clause 9 is structured around three core pillars that ensure your environmental management system is measured, audited, and reviewed at the highest level. Let's explore these pillars: monitoring, internal audit, and management review. Clause 9 serves as the backbone of evidence-based environmental management, ensuring your EMS delivers real, measurable outcomes. It focuses on assessing performance, verifying effectiveness, ensuring alignment, and making data-driven decisions. Organizations must establish a systematic approach to understand their environment and assess EMS performance. This involves determining what to monitor, defining valid methods, setting evaluation criteria, evaluating compliance, and retaining documented evidence. Monitoring should cover environmental inputs and outputs, ensuring compliance and performance. Track resource use, emissions, waste management, and ensure legal and regulatory compliance while progressing toward defined objectives. A robust monitoring program relies on the right tools and technology. From flow meters and effluent testing to digital dashboards and third-party labs, these tools help generate reliable environmental data. Evaluating compliance is crucial under Clause 9.1. Maintain a legal register, periodically assess status, document non-compliances, communicate findings to management, and link to Clause 10 for systemic improvement. Internal audits are vital for EMS integrity. Establish a comprehensive audit program, define objectives, select auditors, and report results. The 2026 revision emphasizes explicitly defined objectives and documented audit programs. A well-structured audit program is essential for effective internal audits. It includes frequency, scope, auditor competence, procedures, reporting, and records retention to ensure audits deliver value. Understanding the different types of internal audits maximizes their value. System, process, compliance, transition, and surveillance audits each serve distinct purposes within the EMS. A structured 5-phase audit process ensures consistency and thoroughness. Plan, prepare, conduct, report, and follow up are key steps to achieve actionable outcomes from every audit. Management must review the EMS at planned intervals to ensure its effectiveness. Clause 9.3 is restructured into sub-clauses for clarity, focusing on general review, inputs, and results. The quality of a management review depends on its inputs. Consider previous actions, context changes, compliance obligations, performance data, and more to meet Clause 9.3.2 requirements. Management reviews must produce documented decisions and actions. These outputs drive continual improvement, EMS changes, resource allocation, and business integration, ensuring strategic direction. The 2026 revision of ISO 14001 introduces significant changes to Clause 9. Dual evaluation requirements, mandatory audit objectives, documented audit programs, and restructured management reviews are key updates. Understanding common audit findings helps address weaknesses before audits. Issues like outdated monitoring data, undefined objectives, incomplete reviews, and weak corrective actions are often identified. Implement practical recommendations to prepare for 2026 requirements. Build KPI dashboards, revise audit programs, use CDG templates, and train internal auditors to achieve and maintain certification excellence. Dive into the core of ISO 14001 Clause 10, focusing on continual improvement and corrective action, the driving forces behind a dynamic environmental management system. Clause 10 is the engine of the environmental management system, ensuring it evolves and enhances performance. It drives sustained improvement, addresses nonconformities, and builds a learning culture. Clause 10.1 emphasizes the need for continual improvement in environmental performance, focusing on suitability, adequacy, and effectiveness. This ongoing commitment is crucial for every management cycle. Improvement is fueled by various factors, including stakeholder expectations, new technologies, compliance trends, audit findings, and benchmarking against industry peers. Clause 10.2 outlines the structured response to nonconformities, emphasizing prompt reaction, impact mitigation, root cause elimination, and regular review and updates. Nonconformities can arise from emission level exceedances, spills, unmet objectives, outdated documentation, unimplemented plans, and audit findings, highlighting the need for corrective action. Effective corrective action starts with understanding the root cause of nonconformities. Techniques like 5 whys, fishbone diagrams, FMEA, Pareto analysis, and brainstorming are essential tools. A disciplined corrective action process ensures nonconformities are resolved permanently. The workflow includes identifying, containing, investigating, planning, and implementing solutions. The 2026 revision of Clause 10 introduces structural integration, stronger linkages, recurrence prevention, and clearer connections to Clause 9, enhancing its role as the EMS improvement engine. Auditors often find issues like actions closed without evidence and weak root cause analysis. Addressing these gaps strengthens compliance and performance. CDG training offers practical guidance to foster a genuine improvement culture under Clause 10, including structured action registers, root cause analysis training, and celebrating successes. Knowledge and capacity is crucial before any transition. Engage top management, conduct workshops, train auditors, and leverage customized training for effective learning. A thorough gap analysis forms the foundation of your transition. Identify where your EMS falls short and classify gaps as critical, major, or minor for precise remediation. Systematically update all EMS documentation to align with the new standards. Revise core documents, manage change procedures, and refresh registers to meet the 2026 requirements. Embed new requirements into daily operations. Strengthen procurement controls, adopt lifecycle thinking, ensure emergency preparedness, and enhance digital monitoring and leadership visibility. Conduct a full-scope audit and management review to validate readiness. Ensure all objectives are defined, nonconformities are closed, and prepare for the transition audit. Engage your certification body for the formal transition audit. Address any findings promptly and receive your updated certification to meet the 2026 standards. Follow a 10-month framework to transition smoothly. Adapt the timeline to your organization's size and complexity, ensuring a structured approach to certification. CDG training offers comprehensive support throughout your transition journey. From end-to-end handholding to post-certification support, ensure you never navigate the process alone. Every transition brings obstacles. This chapter identifies the most common challenges organizations face during EMS implementation, and equips you with proven strategies to overcome each one. Organizations navigating EMS transitions frequently encounter a recurring set of barriers. Recognizing them early is the first step to overcoming them. Staff resistance is one of the most common and most human barriers to any organizational transition. Addressing it requires empathy, communication, and visible leadership commitment. When teams lack a clear understanding of new EMS requirements, implementation stalls, or compliance risks increase. Knowledge gaps are a silent threat to any transition. Outdated or incomplete documentation is a compliance risk and an operational liability. A structured, proactive approach to document management keeps your EMS audit ready at all times. Your environmental performance is only as strong as your supply chain. Engaging suppliers effectively transforms them from a liability into a strategic asset for your EMS. Without active leadership commitment, EMS initiatives lose momentum and credibility. Embedding environmental accountability at the executive level is essential for lasting success. Limited budgets need not derail your EMS transition. Smart prioritization, phased planning, and leveraging available tools and incentives can make implementation both effective and affordable. Every challenge has a solution. A smooth transition requires people, process, and leadership working together. Discover why forward-thinking organizations are making the move now to ISO 14001 to 2026. Early adoption delivers strategic, operational, commercial, and regulatory advantages that compound over time. Early transition to ISO 14001 to 2026 positions your organization as a genuine environmental leader. It builds trust, resilience, and competitive advantage from the ground up, enhancing ESG profiles and strengthening stakeholder trust. ISO 14001 to 2026 drives meaningful improvements across day-to-day operations. From resource efficiency to supplier relationships, it creates a leaner, more resilient organization, enhancing performance and risk management. Early adoption of ISO 14001 to 2026 opens doors to new markets and strengthens investor confidence. It integrates seamlessly with other management systems, offering a competitive edge and cost-effective solutions. The regulatory landscape for environmental management is tightening globally. Early transition ensures your organization stays ahead of the curve, reducing legal exposure and building defensibility with proactive alignment and compliance. ISO 14001 to 2026 is a strategic investment in the long-term health and reputation of your organization. It aligns with global climate goals and attracts top talent, enhancing brand equity and future-proofing your EMS. Waiting until the 2029 deadline is costly. Early transition avoids bottlenecks, reduces costs, and positions your organization as a sustainability leader, building a mature EMS culture. CDG training empowers organizations to lead in the transition to ISO 14001 to 2026. With years of experience and a reputation for excellence, CDG helps you stay ahead of regulations and build a sustainability champion reputation. Welcome to Chapter 15, where we bring everything together for your journey towards environmental excellence. Let's explore the course summary and the next steps in your ISO 14001 to 2026 transition. Throughout this course, we've emphasized evolution over revolution, with ISO 14001 to 2026 building on existing frameworks. We've set a transition deadline for May 2029, focusing on 5 core areas like climate change and supply chain controls. A phased approach ensures minimal disruption, and early movers gain more benefits. Understanding the 6 critical clauses is essential for a successful transition. From expanding context to leadership and change management, each clause plays a vital role in integrating environmental responsibility across your organization. To ensure a smooth transition, follow this structured action plan. Conduct gap analysis, train your team, update documentation, and implement changes in manageable phases. Regular audits and reviews will keep you on track, and booking your transition audit early is crucial. CDG Training offers a comprehensive suite of programs to guide you through your ISO 14001 to 2026 transition. From awareness training to lead auditor certification, our resources are designed to support every step of your journey. Our globally recognized methodology and practical, industry-relevant content make CDG Training the preferred choice. We offer continuous learner support and are trusted across various sectors, ensuring your success in ISO certification. Thank you for joining us on this journey. Your commitment to environmental excellence is vital for your organization and the planet. Together, we can build a sustainable future, and your journey starts here with confidence and support. Stay connected and continue learning with CDG Training. Explore our full range of resources online and follow us on social media to stay updated on the latest in ISO excellence. Visit our website to take the next step in your transition.